My name is Joey. This week I'm joined by Neil.
Hello.
By Dom.
Hi there.
And by Imogen.
Hi, Joey.
If anyone is out there still listening, if you can clap or indicate somehow just to confirm that we are not just talking to ourselves. Moments of the... You know what I'm about. Who wants to go first?
I have one. Straight away. Had you right. Hat trick. Has to be for me after everybody who's been so mean to him all the time. Like the guy who scored. How many has he scored now, Dom, for us?
It's just under 50 and 100.
I know, which is sensational. And I don't have an issue with people like criticising performances and stuff, but a lot of people were sort of questioning his right to exist, which I found harsh. So, I just feel like I was so happy for him in the big game to come up with the big goals yet again, like he always does. Loads of goals all the time. Loved it. And, it was such a big game for us as well. So, and that set us off again. So that was my moment by a mile.
Neil, what do you think is happening?
What, generally?
Well,
it's a wide question, Joe.
Yeah. I have lots of thoughts on that.
So Wright is, numbers-wise, a better goal scorer at least, kind of minutes per goal rate than Godden or Gyökeres or presumably anybody that we've had in the last 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So why do people seem to hate him so much?
I mean, because he's capable of those games where he doesn't throw himself about, doesn't throw his weight about, doesn't finish the chances. And I think it's just like a striker thing, isn't it, with us, certainly, where if you don't do that, we hate you. I don't mind like people missing chances and stuff, but most people don't like that. And it just seems to be that because he started, was it in the Middlesbrough game where he started, no, it might be in the Oxford one actually, where he started absolutely rampant, like really pressing high speed, high intensity, everybody loves it. And it seems easy to say, but, sometimes it's a lot harder to do that, certainly in away games when you're getting none of the ball and the play isn't sort of, anywhere near you, you're just isolated. I get why it can be hard. So I understand it. I've never really had too much of a go at him because of the fact that I know at any given point he'll find the net and score a goal, and he's done it too much for me to question that.
I just figure his goal rate to me means, so I don't love him like I loved Vic, because I don't think he's as exciting as Vic. But if the problem that people have got is that like he should be more aggressive, I sort of think if you're scoring at the rate that he's scoring, you can afford to not do anything else.
You'd think, wouldn't you? But no, they don't like
it. And I'm not saying that everybody should think he's absolutely amazing, but it is a bit mad that people are like, he's rubbish. You're like, I think he's been here nearly 3 seasons and scored roughly 17, 18 goals a season. That's pretty good, right?
No, that's the mad thing. Like back in the last season, Sunderland, everybody's annoyed. And the amount of texts I got from people saying, Wright should never play for us again. And I'm just like, you got to rein that in. That's mad talk. Like, just because he wasn't involved and maybe he didn't do what we needed him to do and he missed a chance. Like, it doesn't mean all the other stuff. The fact they keep scoring constantly at a crazy rate, that's important too.
People don't like, we've talked about this a million times, people don't like maths, do they? And I think if he scored the same number of goals that he's got for us in the last 3 years, but he did it by going score one game, score the next game, then people would love him. But because he scores in these patches, people are like, he doesn't score for 8 games, and people are like, he is rubbish. You're like, but he's going to score 8 in his next 8. Haven't you seen the last 2 years? Can't we just? It's not. And I've been up and down with
season. Sorry, he did the Gyökeres because Gyökeres did pretty much the same gap, like October to beginning of sort of February, where that one season he didn't score, even though I guess he runs about a bit more and he's a bit more exciting. So maybe that gave him more leeway at the time. But the drought was the same. It's the same thing.
Mm.
And I've been up and down with him over the last 3 years, but I guess at this point, you'd be like, this is a long... I wonder how many people have scored more championship goals since his championship debut. I wouldn't have thought anybody, maybe.
No, I I don't think so.
I'm looking at Dom like I just expect you to know the answer to that question.
Don't think so. Maybe Josh Sargent or
Sargent, maybe.
Joel Pirro or someone like that.
And obviously, this is the sort of the vagaries of the championship, where if you're any good, you'd get bought, and if you get promoted or whatever. So there's some of that, but even still, it's still an achievement, right? Anyway, that's enough Fadgy right until we start talking about him again. Who's next?
I'll go. Scoring a last-minute winner against Stoke was just immensely satisfying on so many levels. I think it's not just that we absolutely dominated the game and looked like we kind of run out of puff, and that's one of those big is it our season kind of moments. It's not just that the goalkeeper's been booked for time wasting literally like 20 seconds before and messes it up. It's not that the Stoke fans have only spent half the game singing about how terrible our atmosphere is, and I think they sang one of their own songs, and that was it from them. I on a separate note, I don't think we made enough of how much of a prat Stoke made of themselves. Collective prats. That was fun. Quite enjoyed Frank Lampard giving it to them. I think that goes back a bit further. But yeah, also just like seeing that whole stadium just like lift up behind it, and you're looking at that stand behind the goal, and it's a sea of bodies, and we're jumping in the air.
Mega views, lots of this. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, like no one's left early. And yeah, it's just fantastic. Just like everyone around me is just incredible. Just people hugging, and that's just one of those moments you go to the football for, hoping you'll get maybe once or twice a season. And yeah, over this past week or so, these past 2 weeks, I've had quite a few of those moments. And if you think about the past few years as well, it's a pretty nice time to be supporting Coventry City.
If you like that sort of thing, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Isn't that the second team this season that have punched themselves in the face like that? Haven't we someone else? Didn't we score like a 97th minute winner against someone else that had horribly time wasted for the? Yeah, it was
equaliser.
Yeah. It was an equaliser, of course. Yeah, sorry, at home in the home game, weren't it?
Yeah, battered them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just nice, isn't it? Like you say.
Yeah.
It's my favourite.
Yeah.
Imogen?
Mine was the West Brom game, because we never win there, and the journey for me when I'm going from my mum's is only about 15 minutes. So it's an absolute dream. And on the train there were some locals, and they were saying, "Oh, we never lose against them. It's great, isn't it? It's just the tonic we need this time of the season." No, we've not won. They've not won since 1995. Now that is a lie, because I repeated that stat to my friends, and they went, "It's 2007 actually." So sorry about that. And then coming back at the end to an empty train, which is what this is what I'm here for. Not winning the championship. It's a spacious carriage. That's all I'm asking on my return journey. And all the yam-yams had gone home before me, lovely. Which was great. And winning there, it wasn't as that we were good so much as they were rotten. Absolutely rotten. They wouldn't even indulge in the banter afterwards. They're just too sad at how terrible they are. But I'm very happy to take full advantage of it. And I was going to say I'll be sad not to go there again, but I won't, because it's a shithole. So great.
A mini moment of the month for me based on that is I watched that on telly, and I think I texted something in the group along the lines of, "I'm really surprised by how bad West Brom are." And with outstanding timing, Dom texted, "Eric Ramsey looks haunted." And as he texted it, they cut to him, and his poor little face was white as a sheet. And it was the look of a man that was like, I there's a million things I could do to fix this, but I also know that none of them will work.
Well, he didn't do any of them, so.
Well, but you could tell from the way that the fans got on the back, is that you're like, right, this is deep, isn't it? Like, this is a real problem for you.
Yeah. Did you see them having a go at him at Oxford?
No.
At the end of the game. I realise this isn't a Baggies podcast, but my. I mean, didn't we have a 4-1 at Oxford that was pretty bleak?
Yes,
Yeah,
we did,
we're going down.
back in the old
It felt like that. Maybe that's where teams go to die. I don't know.
just in that car park. Yeah.
yeah.
Question on West Brom, not to make it more of that, but did Dennis Lawrence also then get the sack?
Yeah.
Indeed,
Did he? Oh, he
Yeah.
moved the back and then now.
Shame. Yeah, and again, a great example of how context is everything. There are presumably West Brom fans that think that he is some sort of loser fraud because he's gone in and they've suffered that. But obviously there's not a single COF fan that would be like, yeah, I think he's great. It's just, you are not one of your jobs, are you? It's just a shame for people. But yeah, like you say, move back. Hopefully he lands on his feet somewhere, but I'm sure he will. Right, I'll round it off then. So once every blue moon, I am right about something, and rather than let it slide, is obviously I have to feel the need to sort of drive it into the ground, right? So let's do a wee timeline. We hit sort of Christmas time, and we're not very good, right? And then something happens, and all of a sudden we can't stop winning and we look incredible, right? Now, could it have coincided with Frank Lampard finally taking up my idea of getting a guy in the middle who can't play football in the slightest, but he's brilliant at running into people and just running around like a dog, chasing the ball, but not getting anywhere near it? Ladies and gentlemen, my moment of the month is the presence of Frank Onyeka.
Now, Joey, was that your idea, or did your idea also include removing Matt Grimes from the equation?
Well, not necessarily, but I would. But in fact, you're going to hate this. My team at the moment would be Onyeka and Torp, without a doubt, because I don't see what I don't.
You
know
mad?
What the point
You
of
mad?
Grimes is.
You spent too much time with Paul.
You really have,
No,
honestly.
I-
God, that man has infiltrated your brain.
Stop
I
it.
haven't. I argue daily with Paul in defence of Matt Grimes, but from where I see it, I think that it's a more, like when Torp came on the other day, we were a million times better. It's just a more functional midfield too, as far as I'm concerned. It just
But
is.
He didn't come on in place of Grimes, so you have no frame of reference.
But
At no point have you seen.
But I think he would have done better with Torp. I wanted to see it. I mean, Onyeka went off because he'd spent the last 4 games running around like a headless chicken, just kicking people. But then like
Joey, we've got 100 points in the last 365 games with Matt Grimes in the team. I don't understand how much better you expect us to be.
But there's 11 other people in that. Well, maybe that's why we're so good, because we're playing 12 men. There's 10 other people in that team. He has been a really, really important player in this team, and I think he's had a very good season overall. I think we'd be a more functional team if that was Rodoni ahead of Torp, who I think uses the ball more riskily. That's the wrong word, but what's it? But and now that Onyeka is there to just kill everyone, I'd like to see it. That's all I've got to say. It may well be that. Well, just, it's nice to, and as well, I don't want to go up, do I? So it'd be nice to see
Okay. Now I understand. Got you.
The brakes put on thing. Look, hang on a second. Let's not get. I can see the diversionary tactics here that we don't want to talk about on Onyeka, but I'm going to drag us back until we're done with it. I would like to know how many fouls he's got away with in 4 games.
Well, some of them he gets away with because he's so slow that he misses the player altogether. It's gonna sound like I'm sort of like I'm saying, oh, he's rubbish and laughing about it and whatever. I think he's been really effective, but it's a little bit like Brandon Thomas Asante, where you can be really effective and also not a footballer in any sort of recognisable sense. The other thing that I love about Onyeka, and I will drop it after this, is that, have you noticed that after he absolutely larrups an opponent because he's got to him too late, he's got the biggest smile on his face you've ever seen.
I've never seen anyone enjoy being so recklessly violent in my entire life. There was a moment, maybe against West Brom, where their defender is going insane about something, and I think he's winding the player up.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
He's smiling at him like he's having the best time with it. Like he's like, come on, man, you're all right. It just has got the best energy, not just sort of getting around the pitch, but just his sort of aura and presence on the pitch is such a joy to me that there's this guy just...
Sorry, I just interrupt you for no good reason.
No.
Sheffield United, the dive, or the so-called dive, he was right in the scene, laughing away in his face.
Yeah.
I thought that's brilliant.
But it doesn't feel nasty like a Bassett or a Bobby Thomas or whatever. It feels like he's just like, man, we just got to get on with it.
Just what we needed.
We're good, right? Just this really peculiar energy. And as well, I've said that he's running around kicking people, but I don't think he's kicking people. He's running into people. It's this stock in trade, as far as I can tell. It's just sort of barreling into people. And then the ref's like, well, I can't even really tell whether that's a foul or not. Like, it's just, he doesn't know what he's doing. He reminds me of, do you ever see a dog that doesn't realise how big it is? And it just sort of like walks into a room and knocks a table over and stuff. And you're like, it's not violence. He's just a dog. It's just a dog. He doesn't get how
Blobby,
big he is.
yeah.
He's Mr. Blobby. That's so good, yeah. He's just carnage. But do we get cut through the middle anymore? No.
Effective, yeah.
Not
I like him. I'm a fan.
So like I say, that's all we've needed. And actually, like, he's highlighted how little we need Matt Grimes. Back to your point, Neil. Like, if he'd have just been Mr. Blobby, we'd have been. Imagine how more top we'd be by now.
I know. 1 billion points. That'd have been great.
Right then. So, what do we want to do then? Do we want to talk about how wrong I was? Because I was moaning the last time that we were here and saying I thought we'd fucked it up, and actually we haven't, have we?
Well, no, we haven't, but we gave it a good go.
Mm.
It's just a worrying time, wasn't it? That's all.
And I know that I'm a negative pessimist, but I just didn't see this. I just didn't see us. I didn't see us turning this round. I really didn't. I can't remember what we said last time. What was the general mood of that episode?
I don't think you were quite as negative. You were definitely concerned. I don't think you thought it had gone, but it'd been a while since you've seen us play.
Yeah.
It'd been a while since you've seen us play well, which obviously isn't a great thing. But yeah, I mean, my concern was more about. And it wasn't even concerned, but Middlesbrough, like, they're this team who this season have had these blocks of form and then blocks of bad form and then blocks of form. And everybody just assumed, all right, now they're winning, they're going to continue to win to the end of time. Like, that's a thing. It's like, oh, no, maybe they won't continue to do what they were doing for a bit. So that, I always thought we'd find something again. But I also didn't think that they were going to just win and win forever. I mean, I think they'll win some more games, and I think it'll probably be tighter than we think it might be. But yeah, I can see us getting the points. We should be able to.
I did not have that confidence.
Did you not?
When that first goal went in against Middlesbrough, the primal scream that I uttered told me, A, that I care very, very much about this, and B, that I did not believe that we would do it. And it was a bit of a shock, actually, how much I thought we dominated Middlesbrough. I thought after we got the first goal, they never really looked like they were going to do much.
In our own way, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, exactly. Like, we thought, it's all right, we got this, don't worry.
But also, they had... So I completely agree with you, but didn't they have 72% possession, Middlesbrough?
They did, yes.
But it was the
It
sort
didn't
of
feel
performance
threatening, though.
Well, this is the thing. It's the sort of performance that I love, where it's just like, you can have the ball if you want, but we're just
been there.
Yeah.
we're winning. Like, you can keep the ball. You're just not coming in our goal. So weirdly, I think idiots would be like, yeah, but what a great performance of this possession and whatever. But we just stopped them. We just held them at bay. It was just a really good tactical performance overall. I just don't know what changed. I don't know whether all that happened is sometimes you can beat someone, like we score reasonably early, right? And then whatever, like maybe we caught them at the right time. But I wonder whether, like, you know, we talked about Mansfield away years and years ago in League Two, whether, like, all that's happened is the players would have been nervous going into that game, and then they've won, and then they've been like, "Oh, I wonder if we can just keep winning again like we used to." And then they have. Because I can't spot anything definitive, tactically or vibe-wise or anything else that would really strongly suggest. And as much as I'm joking about on Yeka, yes, that's made a difference, but it's not made this much difference to go from like struggling to then winning 2 away games on the bounce, winning 4 on the bounce now, and like everything seems different again.
But I guess the thing is, the same team as well was also did everything that we saw for the first half of the season as well. So the capability was always there, and it's just that ebbing flow, isn't it? So I'm with you. I don't think you have to put it down to anything specifically. You know, it could have just been that moment of time just boosted the confidence at the right moment, and then Jack Redoni slamming the ball into the top corner suddenly turns in and back into the best player in the league because he suddenly believes it again. And that can be all it is sometimes. It doesn't have to be anything more. Like, everybody's so obsessed with patterns and things which will certainly tell you exactly why this thing has happened, but you don't have to explain it.
I mean, we had 2 bad games, didn't we? The previous 2 games. The QPR one, I was furious the next day. I haven't felt like that for ages about a game. And was that the one where our dear leader refused to talk to CWR? Like, he went and spoke to the written press instead.
I missed that.
Oh, that
really?
was...
I didn't know that.
And Lorna Bailey made a very salty comment about it. It was funny.
If that was an option for him, why hasn't he been doing it?
Maintain silence. And then Oxford was a bit drab, didn't really do anything there. So maybe it was just they had a bit of a wake-up call going second, thinking, oh, actually, we don't have this. We should probably do something about it.
Yeah, it was almost like order of events and sort of circumstance as well. Like the fact that swing where we just happened to have a couple of bad games where we lost, which can happen to anybody. And at the very same time, Middlesbrough decide to win, 3 games in a week, which suddenly that swing comes out of nowhere. And it's, that makes it feel far worse because suddenly this team, which was nowhere near you, is now above you. And they haven't done too much. Obviously, they've won some games, but it's very easy to lose a couple of games on the trot like we did.
Yeah, and our performances haven't really been that consistent. First half of Stoke, we were absolutely scintillating. It was best football we've played in months.
Yeah.
Sheffield United was crap. The first half, I don't think did we have a shot? They were all over us. And then when their first goal went in, I thought, oh, this is going to be bleak. And then we got 2 goals.
Let's get to work.
Yeah, exactly.
I loved Sheffield United. That was a great.
Did you? And I'm sorry, mate, because again, that was an opportunity for me and you to go on a date, wasn't it? But
Oh, that's rude because I was there as well. Why don't I get invited on the date?
This is true.
Neil, tell me about your good night.
Oh, it's so good. I was by myself. I didn't have to interact with anyone. Oh no, it was like my perfect, and not because I didn't get to interact with anybody, but because everything it just fell into place. So I've done this thing a couple of times this season now where I get a hotel because it's just easier for them having to bugger off all the way home. And that was great because the hotel was very, very close to Bramwell Lane, but also a nice enough hotel that I didn't feel like I was, going to get beaten up or anything. So I could easily walk to the ground and it took 5 minutes. It was very quiet. Nobody was given any grief. Got into the ground very nicely. And I was sat on the back row with a lovely family of children to the left of me and just some chaps to the right of me who weren't swearing or booing or having a go at anybody. And it was just a lovely, lovely... I didn't have to grit my teeth at all for anybody having a go at the players. It was just a wonderful time just watching the football. We won, and then I was able to walk back to the hotel in 5 minutes and have a nice couple of beers to celebrate. And it was just... it was prime away day for me.
Oh, my experience was... Sorry, Joey, I know you're going to go into analysis, but I wanted to... mine was the opposite.
Was it really?
I was stuck around some Callum O'Hare haters, and they were frothing, absolutely frothing at the mouth. And several teenagers who decided to attack some women in the Sheffield United end, variously suggesting that they had sexually transmitted diseases and then asking if they'd sleep with them, which I thought was really running the gauntlet there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
I don't think they'd quite worked out what their mode of flirtation was. But let's not dwell on that. The Callum O'Hare stuff really interests me. Why? Why do they hate him so much?
I think it's just become something.
Is it the
now.
sunglasses? Is that it? I don't know. I genuinely don't know why they're so upset about it.
I think fans think that players should intrinsically care about the club to the same extent as they do, and that that anything approaching a normal career path should be like poured scorn upon. They should just. Yeah. But then equally, if that player then drops off in form or gets older, it's not a problem for that fan to then demand their immediate firing out of a cannon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just thick people, right? Like it's just another variation of terribly thick people.
My hope it's pantomime in the sense where, okay, we'll deal with this, and then maybe when he can finally get his dues when he retires, where this guy's won a league with us, scored at Wembley for us. He's done quite a bit. He gave us 5 years of his career. I think he's due a little bit of credit, but I'm just hoping it's just become something where people, like you say, just don't think about at all. But it's a lot. They really do give him a lot.
So much.
Yeah.
I think we fannied about with his contract offer as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So I don't think it was. Yeah. So I think he's on a lot more money than we would have ever paid him. But also, I don't think we offered him a contract for a really long time. And I get the impression he was keen to sign one, whether he would have found it to be enough money. But why? Yeah. What difference does it make? He's a young lad who wants to play in the Premier League. Like it doesn't.
Really weird.
I guess.
But we know this, don't we? But I think the only way that I could try and imagine it is that when you're a kid, you hear like stuff and like the people around you, and that you imbibe it and react to it a certain way, right? So like I would have heard people saying racist stuff, and I'd have been like, "Oh, that's like a thing, like." Black people are bad or whatever. I shouldn't laugh. That's
good job.
funny.
That's all gone now, isn't it? What a relief.
But then for what I would consider to be like a normal person is you'd like hit a certain age or whatever, and you'd go, "Oh, that's mental. Like, that's just like that's whatever." But it's like some people have gone, "Oh no, that is still real." Like Santa still exists. You just, and I don't think it's what they think so much as what they've heard someone else think, and then they've just gone, I want to. Let's all think that together.
Yeah, I think that too. Yeah. I think, it's just
that's very good. But because as well, you could almost sympathise with it if what would have happened is he was our star player, and then after he left, he caused some catastrophic decline for us. But we've been better since he left. I think if he'd have stayed, he would have been a valuable part in what we're doing. But he hasn't caused us any harm. It's okay. Yeah. We can just let him go.
It worked out quite nicely. Yeah,
it's really weird.
Speaking of Sheffield United ex-Coventry City players,
isn't he wonderful? He's just so great.
I'll have to send you after this his recorded message to Paul's daughters that Paul sent me the other day, of Gus saying hi to Mary and Kate, which is just a lovely bit of business.
I thought you were talking about David McGoldrick for a minute. I got this wrong. I was like, Imogen, I didn't know you cared that much.
Yeah.
A lot of love for McGoldrick. Okay,
yeah. Gus.
Of course, Gus. Yeah. So, I mean, Imogen, look, do you want to talk about Gus or what? You look like you really want to talk about Gus.
So magnificent. It was the only point of joy in that first half, just watching him just still
waddle,
a little
just about the pitch.
Yeah, I think that's kind. Waddle. And put everything on a sixpence. Oh, I really miss him. He was fantastic.
Those shorts do him no favours.
God love him, neither do the stripes. But
I don't understand.
Who cares if he's that good?
Yeah.
One of the group chats that I'm in went on a sort of like a timeline that went like this. Ha ha ha, look at how fat Gus is. Oh God. Oh God. Every time you took a free kick or a corner or whatever, you were just like, he might have doubled in weight since he was at us, but apparently he still looked like the best player in the championship. Oh crap, he's just made them a goal. Oh God, he's just hit a ball at 100 mile an hour somehow. You're like, oh God. Yeah, it was quite the thing to watch, because even I was like, there's no way you're going to hurt us, and then after a bit you were like, oh God, you can do anything you want, clearly.
I'd have him back in a heartbeat. I think he's
yes.
fab.
Yes, please.
Even Dom, would
Yes.
you have him back?
I don't think we'd sign him.
That's not the
Again.
question that he asked, Dominic.
Were we in for him? Is that not? I thought there was actual chat, not pretend rumour chat, but actual chat that we were having a look in January.
The closest I heard is around about the time of the 1p Monzo shirts, which we haven't covered, have we? Which I do think might be worth covering. That supposedly that was meant to be like a smokescreen, although it was meant to be happening, but that really it was about drawing people in for the Gus reveal.
What?
And then I don't think they revealed either Gus or 1p shirts, from what I understand. Making the day a complete blowout as far as I was concerned. No, Dom, would you? All right, let me ask you a different question. If he was still a COV player, would he be in your first 11 at the minute?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
Ahead of Grimes? I'm looking at you, Neil.
Yeah, I suppose the thing is he can literally play anyway. He was playing on the left wing against us, and he absolutely skinned Van Everijk a couple of times. I feel like how?
He'd be pretty annoyed.
Yeah.
Van Everijk must be close to being the fastest player in the championship. If you get skinned by Gus, you're going to have to ask what you understand about physics.
First half of the pitch is in your head, though, Joey. So
Imogen, are you colouring?
yeah, sorry.
I thought you were very. I could hear the crayon.
It's just a pencil I'm doodling. Sorry.
I see. That's quite all
That's
right.
fair play.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know what I was going to say. So, what else have we done? What else have we done since? What else have we done since we last recorded? Did we do it before
Just
Middlesbrough?
wins.
Was that?
Yeah.
It was just about that time.
Oxford.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I wanted to ask. This is not what I was thinking of, but it doesn't matter. This was what I was thinking about earlier. Dom, I'll ask you this. How good is Ephraim Mason-Clark?
He's really good. I think basically over our bad spell, he was our best player by some distance. When we were going through a spell where we basically couldn't create from open play, he was the one player who was making things happen. Just that ability to ghost in behind is really effective from him. And then also, I think we've seen more this season, just like the ball carrying as well, and the ability to just take the ball under pressure, and whether it's like his touch or his like upper body strength to actually like hold players off. He's really hard to stop. Because he's got that threat running in behind, and he can also carry the ball and threaten. Maybe you could say that he doesn't release the ball fast enough at times. He maybe like telegraphs that he's cutting inside a bit too much, but he's incredibly effective, and I think he has an argument of being one of our top 3 players this season.
Well, funnily enough, that's where I was going to sort of lead that toward. Is I completely agree. Like, I just think when I think about when we were brilliant, I think of it as being really high energy and aggression at the top of the pitch. And I think that's him. Like, I think that's both his use of the ball. So I think he's made most of our goals recently, right? So he created one of the Sheffield United goals.
Both
of the Sheffield United goals. He's got about 3 or 4 assists in the last few games, right?
Yeah.
But also his defensing, his attacking. But he's everywhere. Very quickly, I want to ask about who your top 3 would be, but I don't want to forget something else. Slight tangent. Episode of Seinfeld where Elaine breaks up with that guy who's a bad breaker-upper, and he keeps getting attacked, right? Like he's the most hated guy in the entire world, right? what the fuck did Japhet Tanganga say to basically all of
yeah.
our players? What was going on with that?
I don't know. That was very strange.
Are we talking about at the very end of the game?
No, all the way through the game. So early on, the game got stopped and there was that after about 20 minutes in our box, a corner that was totally innocuous that got dealt with. Mason Clark and Tanganga, Mason Clark looked like he wanted to kill him.
Oh, yeah. He grabbed him, didn't he?
They both got booked, but it caused a melee. But then there was at least one other major incident that looked like he just said, but it made me think he was like, big head. You got a big head. And there was because they were just I don't even know what you said. Normally, a sort of reaction like that, I'd assumed it was a racist thing. But I mean, what could he have said? But it just seemed like he was just wandering around the pitch, just really pissing people off.
Yeah,
I was like, this is my kind of guy. Outside of Japhet Tanganga, then, if you were pushed for a top 3 players this season, at this point, the season has ended now because of a large-scale pandemic where millions of people have died. Right?
That's far-fetched. What are you on about?
Who are your top 3 players this season?
Dom, you go.
Okay. Number 1, Carl Rushworth. Number 2, Brandon Thomas Asante. Number 3, F1 Mason Clark.
I fucking love that list. Absolutely love that list. Why Thomas Asante?
He was absolutely bloody brilliant for the first half of the season before he got injured. And even when he just came back, those wins against Leicester and Millwall, where we put him on for the last 20, and he scared the shit out of everyone because he was so fast. He's a real revelation. At the start of the season, he came in on the right wing because Sakamoto was injured, and I thought he really helped right because he was kind of playing as a second striker, and his pressing was really good. And I would just say, if you're really fast, that makes you especially dangerous pressing players because you can cover more ground faster. I realised that when we put him in the number 10 role and he was just banging them in, he's been great. The sort of injury, the red card has kind of curtailed his impact this season. Not a huge fan of him playing on the left wing. I just think him having to cut inside kind of messes up sort of the instinctualness of his game. But he was someone who's kind of an afterthought. We signed him 2 years ago, and we were like, "Oh, this guy's going to grab 10 goals and take the pressure off Wright and Sims to score. He's going to be a great bench option." Then first season, that didn't really happen, and we're kind of throwing him in here and there. Lampard's really figured out how to get a tune out of him, and he's just an absolute dynamo. He's so much energy, so much enthusiasm, so much pace, and he can really hit the ball as well. He's just a very fun footballer.
I've been really critical of him while he's been here, but I completely agree with you. And again, what I was saying about Mason Clark, about that kind of the energy and aggression at the top of the pitch. If I think about I know it's an obvious thing to say because of the score, the QPR get home game, right? That for me is peak football. And that was just, they couldn't get out of their defence. They just couldn't do anything because Thomas Asante, Mason Clark, they just swarmed the defenders and just caused them so many problems. And I agree with you. I think he's been brilliant. I don't think this would work, but I ideally like to imagine a situation where we have Mason Clark on the left, Thomas Asante in the middle, and Rodoni on the right, possibly. But I know that it wouldn't work. But Rodoni will come to, I suppose, because he's been brilliant recently and he deserves some credit for playing himself back into form. But the Rodoni is clearly a better player than Thomas Asante. But I do wonder that for how we play, are we better served by having a maniac in that position, pressing and killing and that might score a few more goals? Is that insane, or is there some logic in there, Neil or Imogen?
Well, no, I don't think that's insane, and not because, I think the points are both valid. Rodoni, pound for pound, will be a better player and is a better player and all that sort of stuff. And if you're just picking a fancy team, he's in there. But I think the point is really valid about like, how do you create the most effective unit? And just what we saw early in the season, it's always difficult when you're a manager and you're going to say, right, who's going to be my number 10? And you've got Radoni just waiting there, and prime Radoni is that good. But then you've just got Thomas Asante, who has forced everybody's hand because he wasn't really brought in to be first team. And yeah, what we've seen of him in that position is it serves us so well. It just takes some of the stress off the striker, in the sense where he's got so much energy and he supports him in a different way to what Radoni does. Although I do think Radoni's pressing recently in terms of getting up there has been really, really good. But yeah, it's just one of those funny conundrums in football where might not be the better player, but you might make a way more effective team. It's like the green lines in FIFA and all that sort of stuff. Like it just works better. But I think we've got lovely options, plenty of them. So I think we just messed around with them. It's all good.
That, I suppose, is part of the crux of like, oh, I wonder why we've got better. Is I think probably we, as much as many people did at the end of January, were a bit like, right, we've signed 3 wingers, 2 of which don't even seem to exist particularly, and a kind of a defensive midfielder that we're not really sure about. But that even whatever that has meant that the players that we need have at least been able to have a sit down for a couple of games, and that the options and the ability to rotate has just seemed to put the energy back in the legs of the players that maybe had just disappeared out of them for that period.
Look what it's done to Tats. That man, last month, he has gone angry as hell. I love it. He's so on it. And you feel like that is just for the reasons you've just said. He's got Esse, who, again, pound for pound, I'm sure everybody thinks he's the best player at the club in the sense it's training and all that. They'll see it, but you can't not play Sakamoto when he's playing the way he's playing. Like, and that's great. Like, you deal with the fallout with Palace, whatever it is, in terms of not giving enough minutes. Fine, deal with that. Like, Sakamoto deserves to be playing. Like, he's been absolutely fantastic. It's like he's seen this threat to his place, which he hasn't really had, and he's like, right, let's do something about it. And it's just turned his game up to a completely different level. I love it.
Yeah. Right, so we've had Dom's 3. Who's going next?
It's hard to argue with that 3. I guess. I mean, Grimes' first half of the season I thought was phenomenal. I really enjoyed watching him play, and then obviously he stopped being phenomenal for a bit. Kind of rules him out. I think Milan's had a great season. Yeah, but otherwise, and De Silva's probably the most improved, I would say.
I like that. I was going to throw him in there as well.
Yeah. He had a lovely game against Manhoff on Saturday. The poor boy was absolutely wound up out of his skull by De Silva, who was constantly like nipping at him, like physically nipping at him and just clipping at his heels. And then he lost his tiny little mind. Is there anyone else? I mean, I've got a lot of love for Joey's sibling, Josh Eccles, because I think every time he comes on, he acquits himself beautifully.
Yeah,
but Joey, I don't. That would be embarrassing to talk about a family member like that.
Well, no, but I'll pass it on to him the next time we're at Sunday dinner.
Please do.
No, I agree. I think but I guess, Neil, you're a big advocate of this. There are some people who are better in small doses, aren't they? And I don't know whether we or he would have been amazing this season had he played every minute of every game. But there have been games that have required an energetic, rambunctious number 10, and there have been games that have required someone to come off the bench and give us something different. And he's been brilliant when he's been asked to do that, I think.
Yeah, we played the circumstances there with him.
Brilliant, probably a little over the mark. Very, very, very good.
Deserving.
Goal against Blues.
Oh, that was gorgeous, wasn't it?
Yeah, true.
His shots, he's certainly got that in his locker now, and he's believing in them way more. Like I remember the first season or two, he just was resistant to shooting at all. He just didn't fancy it. He would always roll it off to somebody else, and what's happened, he's just realised actually he has got a really nice shot, and you don't have to leather it. You can just slot it, and yeah, he's. I agree. I think his impact at the right time, we're using him, and that's. I don't want to mess around with like worrying about first team and all that sort of stuff. Just use players when they're going to be most effective. And with the squad we've got at the moment, like I just think we've got so many options at the right times, and it's just been. And then we don't need to worry about like bringing Brow on, like to do, you know.
I don't think we ever need to worry about that.
It's not necessary. It's not necessary anymore, and that's fine. That's all it ever should be with him. I don't want to have a go at Brow for no good reason, but there we go.
On the subject of errant midfielder shooting, and I don't want to sound like I'm obsessed with Onyeka, although obviously I am becoming obsessed with Onyeka. What did anyone else watch his attempts against Stoke and yearn for the days of Ben Sheaf?
Well, it was like he was back, wasn't it? It happened twice. No, don't. No, Frank, put it down.
Frank, what have we told you? Run around in your own half, that's fine, but we don't want to see you anywhere near that box. Good point. I would go for Rushworth, EMC and Milan. I, at the end of this season, will write a full, completely straight down the line account of this season that hands all of the credit to this promotion, which is happening now, by the way, I've decided, until the next time we record and we've lost one game and I'll see my house again. I'm handing all of the credit to Milan, and I am going to write as if I've known this, like I'm Michael Lewis and I've spent a year at the club, because I've just decided it's true, that Milan is like the sort of star that the entire squad gravitates around. I think that his sort of lovely dipstickness and what he's done for the vibes and everything, I wonder whether there's a sliding doors thing of him joining Wolfsburg and we're a team sat in 12th, because like just like the squad isn't as fun and together and whatever else. If you like, did you watch? Well, how often do you watch, what's it called, City Unseen?
Every week.
Actually, quick tangent, right? I think I'm going to Neil about this in midweek. Fuck off City Unseen. I watched the game. You can't have a 25-minute video called City Unseen and 24 minutes of it be highlights of a game that I watched. That's not... I just want to see Tats and Milan kicking a ball to each other. I just want to see them silently just doing like whatever that game was that they... But the more I think about it and I look back over the season, all of them videos are just people laughing and Milan is there. Like, I wonder how important he is in terms of that dynamic in that squad being like everyone having a great time, because he's like this sort of mad, charismatic ringleader. I just think he must make such a massive difference. But also on the pitch, he's brilliant, isn't he? Like, we've almost become, like, what's the word, like inoculated against him. Like, there's a better word for that, but you know what I mean? Like, he's been so good for so long, you can almost underestimate how good he is.
Well, this is what I love about him, like you say, because he's got that, almost a little bit like Bobby, where they're smiling and laughing and don't take too seriously, but there's a real seriousness about their game. Like the recovery, it like defensively, they take it really seriously and they're always on it. But they can they do have the other side of their character, which is nice to see. And like, there was that photo, you know, the photo of they were doing the huddle and somebody got in the middle and got the camera looking up and all of the, I just love looking at all the different expressions of the players, and like they almost seem different to the characters that like Bobby Thomas looks so intense, where you don't really think of him like that in that sort of way. But yeah, I love that photo because it just little although, you know, Grimes did exactly what and said exactly what I thought he was going to say in that sort of huddle. You know, he's just a regular captain who I don't really, his personality is quite the same sort of level as the others. But no, I did love that photo because it did showcase the match version of these players, which is very different to the version that we see on Unseen. Or maybe we don't because they show just the match. I don't know.
One thing that I will say for Matt Grimes is that when you hear him talking, he talks exactly like you'd imagine Matt Grimes would talk.
Yeah.
Which is just the most your brother's mate at a stag do sort of guy that you could possibly imagine. Just completely inoffensive and absolutely nothing to say. Back to Milan for a second. I know this is a very obvious point, but the Lampard punching that everyone seems to like for some reason, that's a Milan thing, right? That's originating from him. And I think the genesis of that, right, is his urge to put players in the limelight, right? Like after game, like he's the one that is pushing teammates towards the crowd to get recognition. And invariably that player is either someone that's done incredibly well or someone that might need it a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Someone that's had get their first good game in 4 and he's grabbing them by the neck and making them like, just think, I wonder how, I think that's probably much more valuable than any of us really give it credit for. If we're attributing confidence shifts to being what's done it recently, like that constant thing of him creating that energy in the squad, it's all conjecture, so you're never going to know. I just have a sense that if he hadn't been here this season, it would have made such an unbelievable difference, which is absurd when we'd bought a really, really fantastic replacement for him. But he wouldn't have done that, would he, clearly?
No, he's good at engaging with the fans as well. But even before the game, he's the one that's sort of like geeing them up and engaging with them in a way that the others aren't. They're sort of more focused on their game. He's the one coming out and making sure people are ready.
Yeah.
And what an ass.
It's like a peach, a giant peach.
just incredible, just to bite it, just to get a sense of the kind of the texture of it.
It took a turn.
Because it's going to be firm as well, right? Like it looks like it might have some give to it, but I bet that's going to break your teeth if you bite into that.
Yeah, it's worked on that.
What have we not covered that needs covering?
Oh, Joel coming in.
Lovely Joel.
I think he's done all right. I mean, look, you don't want him there for pace. But actually, his positioning is pretty good. And I think he's steadied Thomas a bit.
Yeah,
Thomas seems less aggy without Kitching there. I like him.
Yeah,
he's not good enough for Prem, obviously, but he's for the time being, I think he's come in and acquitted himself very well.
Yeah,
he has.
I think that's all fair, because you acknowledge the flaws in his game. Like, he is slow and he does run funny, and it's difficult when he gets into trouble. But the other stuff is, if he can manage the game and read the game and have players around him and get them working with him, you'd like to think he doesn't get in as much trouble. And he's been doing, he's come in and he's steadied the players around him in a way which isn't just about how he performs, it's about how he gets them just doing the right thing. So, and the thing is, like, he's only played 9 games this season, so, like, I don't think that's enough for anybody to kind of switch fundamental thoughts and opinions on him, because that's just changing your opinion every week then. But I think what he has done is he's coming in and played well, and I don't think you mess with that. While he's doing a good job, I don't think you do, because I think that's one of the risks that we've had, and one of the troubles we've had is we're so desperate to give people rests and stuff, we end up fiddling with things at the wrong point. And it does harm us, especially when you just desperately need to get back into some sort of rhythm. And I think what I've liked about Lampard is, through this period of good form, he's sort of said, right, we're going to play this team. You got 2 weeks, let's play this team. And it was the only change we made was Tats maybe came out the other game for SA. Other than that, it's been the same team, and I think we're getting the benefits of that. And it probably would have been the same team again in like 2 weeks if he'd had a week off, but this weekend, but not. But I'm just happy with. We're talking about Joel, but I think just the way that we're managing the players at the moment, just we're playing the right players at the right time, and that's valuable.
Yeah. Just a final thought on Joel is just what a lovely guy. Just what a really lovely guy to listen to. Just if he is the person post game, whether it's just a bit of a laugh with a teammate or whether it's him talking to Rob, just think he's interesting. Just think he's got.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the few players who doesn't just fall into the kind of yes, Rob, I agree, the fans sort of chat. Like when he talks, there is like a sort of, and he's not Plato, obviously, but there is a guy in there, and there's.
Thanks for confirming that.
There's a bit more depth there, isn't there? Like,
he's more considered, isn't he?
There's a good piece, long piece. Kev Unit wrote one. I don't know if you've seen it. He wrote a really nice piece on Joel actually yesterday. I'll link to that when we post this. But yeah, really good piece. Dug into his background a little bit. You know, it just makes you realise he's got a lot of pedigree. You know, he's probably got a lot to offer still. And like you say, he's a more considered guy, and he's certainly worth listening to.
Sort of person that if I met his parents, I'd say he's a credit to you. He is.
Yeah.
Although not always defensively. Sometimes, if you've got the time, I will.
Sit down. I've got a few things to say.
I've brought the board. That's and of course the greatest song in the Football League. That's got to be it, right? There's no more players left, are there?
To mention.
Well, we could go on forever.
Talk about Sims? Not really. Anybody else?
I like the idea that the last 5 minutes of this is just getting the squad list out and going.
It's literally what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Liam,
Paul Yang turned up.
Yeah. What did you think of Marklo's cameo?
Oh my god, I forgot about him. He's not even. Is he? He's not on here.
Yeah, we don't have the numbers, do we? We just don't have the room.
It's not even there.
That's the one thing. Wolfenden struggled to get in the squad again. What are you going to do?
Yeah, it's been some odd signings this year.
But... speaking of those two players, can we talk for a very quick second about what I thought was a pointless shirt, but a market-leading photo campaign of that brown shirt? Did you see the photos from it?
Yeah.
What was the point of it?
Oh, there's no point to it. Well, because
hold on, cash.
Because Doug King loves money, and us piggies will just slop it up, baby. chuck some more slop in the trough. The shirt I'm ambivalent about, but that photo shoot was for a fourth shirt in March that it's released or whatever. Was sexy. Very, very lovely stuff. Really
Smart.
Wasted. Yeah, really wasted, I thought.
Shout out Tom Leach.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
Well, it was really exquisite work, I thought. Like, I was really impressed with that. And like I say, it seemed totally wasted because it was just like, oh, there's a brown shirt now. It's just like, yeah, but this could have been like the main photo shoot for... That's like the purple one with the cathedral where you're like, all right, you've nailed that.
Yeah.
But instead they were just like, whoops, it's another shirt.
But they used the right people, I think, in the campaign to get some people, make them feel good. Yang, you're not playing much, but we'll get you in a photo shoot. Wolfenden, again, get you in the photo shoot. You're important, you know. Get that, yeah.
Well, look, I've got to be careful how I word this as well. But the other part of this is that what you were looking at there were, 20-year-old athletes who were gorgeous of different ethnicities, and it just had a lovely sort of colour palette to it overall. But then Luke Wolfenden sat at the back, sort of like, hello. you're not quite as cool as the rest of these. You get the impression that he was stood at the front at one point, and they were like, Luke, do you think we could just get you, just the lights bouncing off you a little bit? If we could get you
on the couch,
further back. If you could sit in the car, maybe, if that's... as well on the club shop, did anyone have a look at the most recent warehouse clear out?
It's great. I'm in the market for the 2022 calendar, actually. I'm really, really hoping. It's my era, really. That's what I wish we still were in.
Can I bring up my point with it, which is that I've bought a number of things in that sale in the last, let's say, 12 months for massively less than they are currently on sale for. What? So the diversity shirt is in there, the Hummel black T-shirt that the whatever, right? I bought that about 6 months ago, around about Christmas time maybe, for £3, and it's now final ever price, £15.
Doug's a swindler.
If I ever get into from the club shop, I tend to throw in a handful of them masks because they're 30p. But they're on there now for like £2. I don't know what sort of negotiation tactic is this? 30p? No, I don't want that. How about for £2? Well, probably still not really. Just a really, and as well, the way that they put it, they were like, listen, guys, when this stuff is gone, it's gone. You're like, yeah, but I don't think anybody's trying to buy socks from 4 years ago anyway, are they? Like, that's not, I think anyone's Be like, shit, what if someone else buys these? I think that's why you're in this mess. I mean, that's got to be it, right?
Yeah.
Lovely.
No car washing fluid. That's a shame.
That all went at the time.
Yeah.
Greenwash, sorry. Yeah. That was, that went in the first wave. And the gnomes.
The irony of the screen wash is that it's so famous now that if they did do it, I would go and buy some as a sort of nostalgic.
Get on eBay. Yeah.
Comfy themed Chinese takeaway.
Well, that would, yeah. Maybe we're missing a trick. Maybe we should do knee merch, but they're just screen washed.
Neil, I think that's one for you.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. After our last T-shirt debacle, I don't think we're going to go back into that realm, are we?
Didn't go that well, did it?
I can't remember whether we've talked about that here or not. I think we must have done, mustn't we?
Well, there were 2 rounds, weren't there? So we did the first ever one that you created, which was, well, let's face it, an absolute disgrace for design, but we sold them. People still bought them. It was a limited edition. People go to buy it. And then a beautifully designed one with a partner and everything. That play on, what was it, a Talbot shirt that we got designed?
Yeah.
And I think we got one purchase, which wasn't enough to us to even create the thing because nobody wanted it.
Do you two even know about this? Have we talked? Do you know what
I've got
happened?
no idea what you're talking about. Sorry.
I think we put it on Instagram. We did tell people about it on the line.
You know the guy from he's got a popular Twitter football account that's not it's not great, but I think it's called A Funny Old Game. I think the avatar is Des Lynam and he shows goals from the past and whatever. So I don't know how he got our details, and it wasn't clear that it was him at first, but he approached me and Neil and said, I do these like fancy T-shirts for like podcasts that seem a bit interesting, and we found yours and we think you'd be a good thing. Here's some examples of what we've done. And they were brilliant, weren't they? Yeah, like they were just straight away, you were like, these are really high quality, really interesting. And he was like, look, I don't want to design it. He was like, I'll do the mechanical bit of like the graphic design, but I need you two to like tell us what you want. And so we'll have to dig out the actual design because it's brilliant, right? Like so it's the Talbot shirt, but instead of a T, it's an N. And then like, I can't remember what else was on it, but it looked class, didn't it? And we were like, well, if we sold 20 of the ones that like, that almost literally were illegible as they were, imagine how many of these that we'll sell. And then I think we had 2 ordered, and that guy had to come back to us and say, I'm not making 2 T-shirts because
Like, oh, tail between our legs. Oh, sorry. I thought we had more fans than this.
we were like, look, we don't have many fans, clearly, but the T-shirt's so good, somebody will buy it. And he was like, you told me that people listen to your podcast. If they do, it's like how people watch The Room where they're laughing at it because nobody wants these T-shirts. We were like, yeah, sorry about that. Can we have one? No, you can't. Like,
No,
okay.
you can't.
So yeah, it's screen wash or nothing at this point. Yeah. Okay, right. Dom, everyone knows by now, but come on, tell them again. Where is it?
Sidewayssammy.com.
Anyone else got anything to plug, push? It's good that we got Kevin's name out there. Kevin's writing is all fantastic.
Yep.
UNITT, the surname you'll find on Twitter, Kevin.
Correct. Yeah, I'll post that on the line. Yeah, they'll be able to see it.
I think that's everything.
Back on the pod.
Yeah, I mean, just lovely chat. Right, okay, fine. Neil, thank you.
Yep, thanks a lot.
Dom, thank you.
Cheers.
Imogen, thank you.
Thank you, Joey.
Listener, thank you. Bye.